Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Hold on. Why can't I? That's better, I think. There we go. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Is it too much or is it too low? It's okay? Awesome. So good to see all your faces popping on. So nice. I've been hosting a lot of these ceremonies recently, not on Zoom, but just over Facebook Live. So it's nice to be on here with you guys. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. I still think we're waiting for one or two more people to join us. And then we'll start to settle in. So as you're starting to hop on, maybe just writing in the chat where you're tuning in from tonight, how you're feeling. Quite a moon. I don't usually host ceremonies on the new moon. I usually host them on the full moon, but this moon really called me to host a ceremony tonight because it's the first new moon of the astrological new year, and yeah, it's a big initiatory energy tonight. So it'll be nice to sit together and be in this virtual space. Nice. So Tina, you're in Toronto. Gloria, Toronto. All my Toronto women in the house. Isabel, I know you're cozy in your bed in Toronto. And so I think we still have one or two more ladies that are going to be hopping on. But like I had said in the email, you guys are totally welcome to have your cameras off if you need to. The first part of the ceremony tonight will be um, a little bit more like we'll do some energy moving and clearing and just kind of invite in sacred space. And then the second half of the ceremony is going to be more just a space for you to lie down and yeah, just enjoy and relax and kind of connect in a little bit more. Feeling stuck. We got cam loops in the house. Yeah, I hear that. It's as much as this energy right now is very like it has this like initiatory energy, this fire in Aries. There is like I'm feeling a lot of challenge around this time and feeling a lot of like things are like wanting to move, but they're still kind of moving slowly. And that's like, yeah, stuck is a really good word for it. I've been really called recently to really be connecting with energy moving practices. So this is the springtime energy. We're still very much coming out of winter, and depending on where you are in the world, for us over on the west, yeah, Kamloops, and I'm in Cranbrook, BC. So it's the weather's been kind of funky over here. I know in Toronto it's been like magical and spring-like, but it hasn't been that much so much for us over here. But still energetically, yeah, there's like when we come in from the winter as we move into the spring, there's that, there's that fire that's kind of lighting and starting to initiate as we're wanting to tune more into kind of where this new energy is taking us and where this like spark is taking us. And sometimes that needs to be, as much as we were like, rah rah out the gates, sometimes we need to kind of take some steps back and really just be present to surrendering to the divine unfolding of it. And that's what I keep feeling and keep tuning into, is like, just trust the divine timing, just trust the divine timing. And in that trust and in that almost like stuckness or pause, we get this opportunity to move energy and just clear and continue to clear and make space for the new. Because sometimes those winter energies and the things that we've gone through over the past season, and of course in this very wild time in our world, the things that we've been going through this past year and a half, there's a lot of energy that can be really stuck still in our body. So it's a really beautiful and powerful time to invite ourselves into these practices that can help to start to shift that, and so that we can create space energetically so that we're ready for that fire to kind of come in and for us to move into kind of where we're going. And this moon is really the essence of this kind of astrological time. And I think what we're kind of going through together as a collective is we're stepping more into we're stepping more onto our path and more into this just higher expression of how we're living and why we're here. A lot of us have really started to tune in even more to why, we're here on this earth, and what our gifts are and how we're sharing those and how we're moving into the world and showing up for not only ourselves but our sacred service from that higher alignment. And that's really kind of the energy that I want to call in today, is with that intention of calling in that clarity for ourselves, so that we can get attuned to, where it is we're going and how we're stepping more fully onto that path of our own unique divine expression and our little piece of the puzzle. as to, how we're showing up in this life and all of the beautifulness that is waiting for us, and that we're ready to move into, because really this life, in all of its madness, there is still so much beauty here, and there's so much beauty for us to express and to bring into the world in our unique way. So we're gonna call in joy tonight, because it is needed at this time. All right, I'm just gonna make sure everybody's here. Hi, sister. I just saw you pop on, Ananda.
Hey, love.
Hi, all of you. Oh, and Cheryl, you're here too, with smiling faces. I love it. So yeah, and I know a couple of you want to keep your camera off tonight, which is totally cool. Definitely really trust that for yourselves tonight. All right, so I think we're all here. So to begin tonight, let's close our eyes as we start to arrive more fully into this space tonight together. As we meet each other, imagine us gathering tonight in a circle. And you can picture us all sitting here in a perfect circle together. Let's let the spine be long. And begin to deepen the breath a little. And with every exhalation, allowing your body to feel a little heavier. And really let yourself be held by whatever you're sitting or resting upon. And as we open this circle and this energetic space, this container that we co-create this evening, we allow ourselves to be held in this space. Calling in Mother Earth to hold us with her steadiness. Calling in Father Sky to support us with his vastness, openness. As we bring attention now right into the space at the center of our own chest. As we call in our open heart, this portal within ourselves, the space in our energetic body between earth and sky. just taking your palms just gently in front of your heart and just rub them together just a little. Just starting to explore the energy of the palms right in front of the heart space, in front of that portal. We all have the ability to tune in to our whispers, to the divine messengers that speak to us. We all receive messages in different ways. Tonight, we will bring some extra attention into our heart space as this portal opening to receive anything that we need to receive tonight in our energy practices, in our prayers, in our journaling as we move through this ceremony together, held by each other, and all here to tune into these whispers. And then just bringing the hands to stillness. Take your thumbs and your pinky fingers to touch, creating a lotus at the heart. And as we rest here, noticing if there are any intentions that are coming through to call in for yourself tonight. What messages are you looking for? Are there any questions? Planting those seeds and calling them forth through the heart to be answered in ceremony or beyond ceremony. Just planting that seed right now, these seeds of intention. We'll pause here for just another moment or so. And as we fully come to open our sacred space in this circle tonight, just starting to move the body around a little. Swaying, inviting in some movement into your container. So we'll first just invite in some exercises, some energy clearing exercises to help us to clear our channel to receive these messages tonight. Let's take the arms up over the head and just give them a little shake around. If you're feeling called to move big or small, how does the body need to move tonight to just clear out anything that might not be serving you? There's been a lot of really heavy energy in the waves the last couple of days. I don't know if you guys have been feeling that, but yeah, just let yourself move, but also be tender with yourself, because I know a lot of us are really tired tonight, myself included. Transition seasons are always challenging but beautiful. So winter to spring is one where we can be extra tender with ourselves. Yeah, so we can start to rub the body and just offer ourselves a little bit of nourishment through our palms, through that palm energy. And I welcome us all here into this space. It's so beautiful to gather with you tonight and to hold each other under this powerful Aries dark moon. Take another moment just to move your container around. And then just slowly coming back to stillness or softness, whether you're lying down or sitting up. And we'll invite in some sound. So we're going to take our hands onto the belly, just below the navel, and connect in with our sacral chakra. So space, the center of creativity, and creating the seed sound. So we're going to create the Bija mantra, the seed sound mantra. So that is a mantra when we speak this mantra, when we sing it, when we make sound, it's resonating with that same frequency at the sacral chakra. So you can take your hands and just let them rest there. And the seed sound is VAM, V-A-M. So we're going to take a cleansing breath first, and then we're going to create the sound VAM a few times. So let's take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. And then inhale to create the sound VAM. Twice more. Pausing here. Just noticing the energy of the body, what's moving, shifting. others if you feel called to. So I've asked a couple of my sisters tonight if they wanted to share a little bit of poetry. So as we're coming into just kind of opening the space and just starting with some of these energy practices, I thought I would just, call upon you lovely ladies to invite whatever is coming through for you tonight. I love these ladies deeply, and I know how magical their words are and what they have to share. So I'm super grateful to have them supporting also me tonight in this space, in this wild moon. I am not feeling at my strongest tonight, so I'm going to invite Ella to unmute herself and come into the circle and share.
Aw, thank you, Beauty. I love you.
Love you too.
I can just feel and see us in circle right now. And I can see myself like getting up with the help of our sisters going into the middle of this ceremony. And what I felt called to read, and just thank you for calling on me to share, is actually one of your poems, because I just love this book so much. It's just magic. I'm going to read from page 58, Love Blooms. Love blooms quietly, like the flowers of spring, naturally coloring the landscape. My heart smells the patient fragrance of something too beautiful to be rushed. This colorful love, may it bloom for seasons to come. Deep breath.
Deep breath. Yes, sister. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that you read that one, especially as we're moving into spring.
Yeah.
And this transition is not, it's not the easiest one. And that medicine poem always just reminds me of the sweetness of spring and the sweetness of this season. And this is just calling me to just remind us, as I remind myself, that this time, and especially under this really initiatory time of the Aries moon, is, we're stepping into more alignment in how we're opening up to express our divine gifts, and that it doesn't need to be rushed, and that we can soften a little bit more into it and trust that it's all coming and it's all unfolding, and that we don't have to rush. Because I think, and I know this is true for me, and I've been feeling this so much lately, is this pressure that I've been putting on myself. And it's like, new season, new beginning, like, let's just, bust it out. And it's like, it's too much. It's too much pressure.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you reading that, because it's it's such a good reminder of trusting, like, love blooms quietly, patiently, and so thank you.
And thank you for that, extra description of kind of the behind the scenes of that particular piece, because I think so much in our world of personal development and doing this work, there is that pressure, mostly from ourselves, of like what you just, you just spoke to, of like new beginnings and what am I creating, and like what are you creating, and then that pressure we put on ourselves. And words have such a way of reminding us that, you know take it tenderly and slowly, and um yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah, that balance between rush and softness, rush and surrender, like, oh my god,
Mm,
time is going so fast, and we're here, you
mhm.
know
Yeah, and
so
softening in the surrender of it all.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, love.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, that was one of my intentions for bringing us together tonight, was that essence of softening into the surrender of what is moving through us, and just allowing ourselves spaciousness to sit together, to be together in this way, to just because when we join together in sisterhood, it really helps to just amplify the energy and the intention. So my intention tonight was to just bring us together and to allow us to have a little bit more spaciousness, just to be able to hear those heart whispers. What is coming through, what is being asked to be created and birthed through us. And all of the card readings that I've done recently, all the cards that I've been pulling, are all about creativity and creating our lives and divinely connecting, or connecting to the divine gifts of like that like the sparks of creativity. And we need space and softness and receptivity. Those are, I feel like the that's birthed through the feminine way of doing things. And I think, and I know myself included, I'm still learning how to really embrace that and to really like invite it in, as opposed to like pushing and rushing. So I always find it really potent and beautiful when we can come together in circle and amplify that. So just creating space for listening tonight to our whispers. And my lovely, dear sister Ananda, it's so nice to be with you in circle. I love you. Ananda is a goddess leader, and I didn't actually announce you, Ella, and what you do. Maybe you can tell us a little bit later or put in the chat what you're doing in the world. But Ananda is a Reiki teacher, sound healer, beautiful fairy sister of mine who's also a poet. And yeah, she's going to share some words and some energy with us tonight.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. So can you hear me right now? I'm going to plug in my microphone just so that you can hear me a little bit better, and then just let me know if you can hear me. And when I plug it in, I'm not going to be able to hear you. So if you want to just type in the chat, that would be great.
That's why I got my headphones on.
Okay, let's see. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Okay, so I wanted to share a few things tonight, just because we are moving through this awakening time. It's a deep awakening time. So this time can be a little bit uncomfortable, right? Because just think of it like that little acorn that's been sitting on the ground for the entire winter, right? And it has all this pranic energy, this life force living within this acorn. And so the symbol for this season right now is the acorn, where all of this potential is sitting in this acorn that has been laying dormant for months. And now it's percolating. It's like, oh, it's like just uncomfortable. Let me out of this acorn. I want to start growing. I want to start doing things, But this transformation time is like this weather is still, we're still not there. We're just trying to burst out, right? And that bursting out point is that like discomfort of, wow, there's like this inner fire starting to burn, but also I know that I need to be patient. So there's like this balance happening right now, which is really, really potent with lessons as well. So I don't know if you're feeling that, but I know that I am, and starting to just sit with that and just be patient and allow all the seeds that we've been planting throughout the winter to root down, because that's what's starting to happen, is that rooting, that sense of really feeling into the earth. And if you need a little bit more literal sense, is that all of these creations, all of these energies that are happening right now, it's like all of these ideas are coming into our mind. And especially with this new moon in Aries, that's exactly what's happening. We have 4 planets in fire right now, but it's a new moon, which means it's a muted energy. So all of that's happening. We have lots of fire, but we have a muted energy as well. So it's like, what am I doing? Do I want to stay at home? Do I want to be with friends? But this is really a time to not really force, like Ashley, what you were saying, not force any of that to happen. It's like, okay, lay low and really, really be connected to what ideas are coming up for you. So I wanted to share some poetry that connects to this idea of this season and this astrological alignment, as well as connect to the earth. So I'm going to actually move you through a tiny little meditation here that's going to connect you to the earth and bring us into that nostalgic sense that I feel is really moving through right now as well. So if you want to just get comfortable and however you want to meditate, you could be laying down, you could be seated, just making sure that you're really, really supported. Starting to close your eyes. And wherever you are, just starting to feel your sit bones, your root chakra connected down towards the earth. And sending your awareness to this anchoring, this rooting, and trusting in the essence of Mother Earth as she begins to rebirth new blooming energies back into our world. And allowing her to simply hold your body here as you begin to lean into her, breathing deeply down below your navel. Maybe even taking a few deep audible sighs here. And now I invite you to listen to what comes up for you when I say the word earth. Mother Earth. What visions come up for you? Words, feelings. And taking all of those visions and words and feelings and noticing where you feel them in the body. Connecting deeply to the core of the earth and all she has to offer. Connecting to the vision of the land that we have lived upon and walked upon before this moment, as we send our gratitude and our reverence into the lands that are sacred to us, and reverence and gratitude to our ancestors who have lived upon these lands before us, and all of the memories, the experiences, the seasons, the years that took place before us, that took place before this very season, about to move through this vortex into summer. We pray. O great Creator, I come before you in a humble manner, with tears in my eyes and an ancient song from my heart. I pray to the four powers of creation, to the grandfather sun, the grandmother moon, to the mother earth, and to my ancestors. I pray for my relations in nature, all those who walk, crawl, fly, and swim, seen and unseen. To the good spirits that exist in every part of creation, I ask that you bless our elders and children, families and friends, and the brothers and sisters who are in prison. I pray for the ones who are sick on drugs and alcohol, and for those who are now homeless. I also pray for peace among the four races of humankind. May there be good health and healing for this earth. May there be beauty above us, beauty below us. May there be beauty within us, and may there be beauty all around us. We ask that this world be filled with peace, love, and beauty. And so it is. Slowly coming back into your body. And I'll just ask you to take this time to write in the chat. When you open your eyes, you can start to share some places on this earth that are sacred to you. Maybe some places that you've lived before, some places that you've visited on this earth that you can't be right now. And let's send our love and attention to all those places upon this earth that have brought us so much joy and messages. Beautiful. Yes. Beautiful. Let's keep sending love to all those places in the earth. You can send as much love to as many places as you want. I love you, Mother Earth. Beautiful. Arabian Sea. My motherland, Golden State, California. Guatemala, Greece, California, Collingwood. Santorini, Costa Rica. Redwood Meadows. Beach, Dusseldorf. Aruba. Beautiful turtles in the Galapagos. Yes. Elbow River outside of Calgary, sitting on the rocks at the water's edge, watching my children play. Hawaii, Poland, Hungary. Beautiful. Mediterranean Sea. Yes. Love, love, love to all these places and more across the world. Thank you, Cheryl. Beautiful. Sending all of our love across the world to all those places that we cannot be right now and to the place that we are right now. Taking a deep breath in, it out. And before I end my little sharing, thank you, Ashley, for allowing me to share tonight. And thank you for holding space for all of us. It's very special and very needed. I wanted to share a poem that calls in Goddess Persephone, which this is the time when Goddess Persephone arrives back home to the earth, and we can witness her everywhere. We can witness her in the flowers, in the grass, in the rivers. And if you don't know the Goddess of Persephone, you might want to look it up after this because I don't really have time to say the whole story, but basically she's the essence that goes to the underworld. She's kidnapped to the underworld. And in the underworld is our subconscious mind going through that winter season. And she becomes the queen of the underworld. She starts to master the subconscious and bring back gems from the underworld as she comes back to the earth. So this poem is called Persephone. And the sun rushed out of tantric skies, leaving her to be alone with the night. She fell from the moment of grace and into the painful grip of the underworld, where soon she would become queen. She gasped in the night before the dawn lifted her up and set her back into the stormy sea. She swam away from the torture where she could heal, in a soft womb to hear her mother comforting her. Her rose garden dreams were set on fire by thieves, but she took back the night, dove deep into her darkness where she birthed fruits of her labor, and decided never again to fall to pieces. She fell in love with her creator. The divine love took her by surprise, but saved her from the darkness that used to scare her. She bowed to the goddess within and felt the roots of love deep within her many lifetimes of learning to trust that she would bloom again. The unknowing bewildered her, but this is why she came back to life, to experience the caress on her skin and the scorn of the knife burrowed deep inside her chest. The remembrance of bitter wind and the sun showers that heat up the night. Off the grass where the children used to play. The memory saved her and brought her back from the depths of the underworld, of which she had to learn to treasure. It is the maze she has to walk through each time as she resurfaces with the gifts of the unseen. She was kidnapped and owned by a jealous patriarch that never truly appreciated her beauty, until now when she blooms every spring and brings back the scent of heaven. She is the seasons, the external cycle of mother's death and rebirth. She sacrifices herself for our own pleasure. We remain patient as she returns like an old childhood friend. The memory, never lost, only temporarily hidden and reborn to seduce our senses once again. So I hope that you can notice this beautiful return of Goddess Persephone this season. And if you even live in a warm climate, you can still feel that awakening within you, rebirthing, coming back to life once again, out of the underworld, out of the subconscious mind. And just be patient with yourself when you're doing that, because that is a big undertaking as well. So many blessings to all of you, and thank you for sharing this beautiful medicine with me. Namaste.
Beauty, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. That's so beautiful. Your medicine, your poetry is so potent and so needed. And I'm so glad that you could be here tonight and share that with all of us. It really is medicine for me. It reminds me that it's safe to meet our darkness and to meet those darker spaces, because really those are the gifts, those are the jewels that we can bring back to this life, once we've kind of met those depths. So I'm so grateful for that. And it's so beautiful that it kind of ties into what I wanted to lead us through in a little bit, which is just doing a little bit of journeying with our inner child. And I think sometimes for me, this is kind of how I interpret some of my darkness, is like some of my wounds and my darker spaces. They're often what my child, the small person within us, has had experienced a long time ago, and that we've carried with us. And those dark spaces and those energetic wounds can also be ancestral. Our mother, our grandmother, we actually have, when, our mother was inside of her mother, our egg that became us was in her at that time. So we have these energetic kind of imprints within us that can go back generations. And so sometimes I think some of that underworld energy too can be this ancestral kind of darkness, and just bringing that kind of to light, and that any of these kind of heavier, darker energies are opportunities. And we've arrived on this earth to clear. We get the divine opportunity to clear our specific wounds and the lessons and whatnot that we came here to, why we incarnated on earth at this time, and to the family that we did. And we get this beautiful opportunity to clear those, and also create space to from our wounded spaces move more into the light and into our expression, and how we are offering ourselves and our gifts, and how we're having fun in how we're expressing ourselves. So I wanted to bring in, I put it on our little kind of mini altar tonight, but I wanted to bring in the essence of clary sage. And clary sage is a beautiful botanical that helps us connect to our third eye, to intuition. It's the oil of clarity and of trust. So when we journey inwards into ourselves, sometimes it can be, it brings up things like Ananda was saying that are really uncomfortable. But when we can have that trust and patience, and when we gather together in this beautiful supportive sacred space, and the support of sisterhood, we know that we can lean into being held, and that as we kind of journey into ourselves and into some of our wounds, and just into our spaces, and through this time and this portal of spring, that we are really held, and we can feel supported enough to really tune into our own trust, and trust that's what's coming up is coming up for a reason, and that we're safe in this time. So I wanted to read to you just out of Emotions and Essential Oils, just inviting in this essence of clary sage. And if you have clary sage with you, you're welcome to use it. And if not, that's okay. I'll use myself as a channel tonight to invite this essence into our circle and into our space to support us. So clary sage assists individuals in changing their perceptions. It gives us courage to see the truth. It's one of the finest oils for the brow chakra and for the third eye, as it dispels darkness and illusion. helping us to see our limiting beliefs, and encourages us to remain open to new ideas and new perspectives. So it can assist us during healing when a drastic change of perspective is required. Clary Sage opens the soul to new possibilities and experiences. Clary Sage also assists us in opening creative channels and clearing creative blocks. And so as we're moving forth into this new beginning, this connecting to our divine creativity and connecting to our sacral chakra and connecting as well to our throat chakra, these two spaces of expression, this can be a really nice botanical to work with. And even just after circle, if you're not familiar with the chakras, the sacral chakra, the throat chakra, just maybe give those a little look up. Clary Sage also eliminates distractions from the mind and assists individuals in finding a state of emptiness where creative forces may be realized. So again, creating that empty vessel, clearing out space so that we can birth through into actualizing, like Ananda said at the beginning, actualizing the potential and the energy of that acorn and where we're moving to. Clary Sage teaches the spirit how to use its divinely given gifts and especially is helpful in clarifying spiritual vision. It assists in developing the gift of discernment. Clary Sage invites individuals to expand their vision and accept the reality of the spiritual world. So its positive properties is that it is intuitive, open-minded, imaginative, and spiritually discerning. So if you have this botanical, you can apply it onto your forehead. I like to apply it right onto my third eye, and then sometimes behind my ears, or even onto the heart space. Has a beautiful sweetness to it. And I always find that working with these plant essences and these pieces of Mother Earth, they can really just help to hold us and guide us with even more of that kind of subtle energy. And I love that Ananda brought up and really honored and called in Mother Earth even more into our circle space tonight, because she really is, I feel, our truest, our biggest teacher right now. I know so many of us are feeling, especially those of us who live in cities, but all of us for sure, really being deeply called to be in nature. So I encourage us all to just spend as much time out connecting with Mother Earth as you can, and especially at this time of transformation and this time of change in our world. Nature is our biggest ally and our biggest teacher. Because I think sometimes, our ego wants to kind of know, okay, what are my steps? How do I do this? And really it's in the way that nature speaks to us. It's in the way where we can connect with these, plant botanicals that show us, they give us like a gateway, a portal into being with ourselves that is almost unexplainable in the mind. It's only felt in the body, in our essence. And nature reflects that back to us, that way of being, of moving with intuition, moving without pushing. And one of my favorite quotes is, "Nature does not rush, yet everything is accomplished." And Lao Tzu said that, and it's so true. And nature continues to teach And so, yeah, I encourage us at this time to just be in nature. I mean, the moon is nature in her beautiful phases. So I feel being held by the beautiful essence of the moon this evening. But there's something about connecting with the earth at this time. If you can, go out barefoot on the earth and just invite her essence into your physical body and allow her to help you purify and cleanse out and transmute all of these kind of darker, heavier, lower and slower vibrations, and clear out space and allow the as the energies are transmuted to be able to come into that higher alignment and expression with yourself and how you're moving and arriving and showing up in the world. And so I'll share with you this medicine poem, which is beautiful, that I was guided to this lovely prayer poem, which I wrote or came through me while I was in nature, and it's called Bird Song. Why must words come, dear one? Be patient, be still. Here you are, quiet morning, ripples in the lake, curled up and writing. Do not think that you must write anything profound, for the essence of writing wakes you, integrating the star codes meant for you, for evolution. Never seek for more. Trust in these moments unfolding. Trust in receiving the beauty of this new day. That is enough. That this is the language spoken by the angels. Hear them guiding you through nature's melodies, sung in bird song. So I'd like to invite us to lying down if you're not already, if you'd like to. Otherwise, you can stay sitting, but we're going to move into an adventure into the depths of our heart and go on a little journey with our inner child through nature. So I'll just give a little bit of space. Take your time to arrange your body. And again, taking your time to let yourself be really comfortable.
Stay strong, move on. You have such a beautiful soul. Let your energy radiate.
And just notice the body breathing itself here. The wisdom that breathes your lungs and beats your heart. That same wisdom that exists in nature, on Mother Earth. That divine intelligence in this moment, and bringing gratitude and reverence to this essence.
Darling, darling, you gotta keep your head up. Darling, darling, remember days will get much better. Darling, darling.
And as that intelligence, this essence lives within us, we have access to
Darling, darling,
the answers we seek.
keep your head up. Mm,
And the questions we have that we can honor at this time, they come up because the answers are also seeking us, just as we are seeking with the questions. Our answers are within us, and they want to rise and move and have space to come closer to the surface. But sometimes we need to take a journey inwards and move down into these deeper, wiser parts of ourselves to unearth and bring back this wisdom. And so bringing awareness into the heart space, the space right at the center of the chest, the energetic heart space, this portal. Imagine a flower right at the center of the chest. And as that flower starts to bloom and open, you get to look inside. Notice the flower, its color, its shape, its texture, its smell. And as you gently look inside and peer over and in, you notice this beautiful open space. And a small little girl is looking back up at you. And she reaches her hand up, gesturing for you to feel safe to grab hold of it as you enter the portal of your heart, hand in hand with this little girl. Notice what she looks like, what she's wearing, how her energy is. And you start to slide down from the portal of the heart, down and down and down. She takes you down into the earth. And you begin your adventure with this little girl. And you start to emerge at this beautiful underground river. And there's flora and fauna all around you. There's water and crystals and beautiful caves of light. And the two of you walk together along this river, this beautiful underground river. Notice if the water has a color. And as you walk, you feel this lightness as the two of you, your walk starts to turn into a skip. And you swing your hands still held together. And this little girl wants to guide you somewhere. And you continue to walk along the river, but you're feeling curious now. Where is she leading me? As you start to approach one of the caves, in this beautiful cave of crystals. Notice what kind of crystals are in your cave. And she says, let's walk through the cave. Let's allow these crystals to amplify and energize and to reflect back to us the messages that we need to see on the other side of this cave. She says, so come with me. And you and your little girl walk through your cave towards the end, where there's a beautiful door. Notice the color of the door. What is it made out of? And you're so curious to open this door to reveal what's on the other side. But the little girl just grabs your hand and she says, let's just take a breath together. There's never any rush. What's waiting for us is already been written in the stars. It's not going anywhere. So we can pause for another moment. And then she lets you open the door and lead the way in to this beautiful space. Just notice what is on the other side of this door. How does it feel? How does the body want to move when you enter this space? Are there any people there with you? Just notice this vision that comes through. Who else is there? Are there any activities you want to do in this space? Is a little girl trying to lead you and play? How is she asking you to play in this space? And the two of you spend just another couple of moments in this space, feeling, observing, noticing. And then she gives you a little squeeze again in your hand a couple times. And you look down at her and she smiles. And she gently invites you back towards the cave. And it's safe to gently just pull the door, but not fully close it. As you enter back into this crystal cave, and you walk through a little slower than before. The two of you are still connected, with a sense of peace and ease in your being.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
And you start to see the light that brings you back out towards that river. And you exit the cave together and start to walk along the river again.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Traveling back now through
Rama Rama,
any of the spaces
Hare Hare,
in the earth.
Hare Krishna, Hare
And you find your way
Krishna,
slowly back up and up, arriving again at the portal of your heart. At the flower door that you entered through. And you and the little girl give each other a beautiful hug. you smile. And she stays right into the heart, tucked in, for you to return and connect with her whenever you need. And you come climb up and out of the flower, and you come to lie down or rest exactly as you are now. And you begin once again to notice the body resting. As you find yourself coming back into the awareness of this moment. And into the breath as you invite in some deeper inhales and exhales. And maybe you start to invite a little bit of a smile to the face, softening the muscles of the face. Feeling a deep gratitude and reverence for yourself and the wise teachers that live within you, both inner child and wise elder. And as we move through this life, we can call upon these two essences. We are both our little child and our wise grandmother self. And it's often the whispers of the inner child of how she wants to express and move in this life that help to guide her into moving closer into her fullest expression as her elder self. We are both the wise eagle and the baby bird. And so as we land here on the other side of this practice tonight, on the other side of this journey, I want to invite you to just spend some quiet time journaling about this visualization. Where did you go on this journey? If any messages came through, taking note of the colors, the elemental essences of what you saw, what kind of crystals, what kind of door, what kind of materials. And all of these can be messengers. So going ahead and take as much time as you need to rise again if you need to move your body. And we'll just take 5 or 6 or 7 minutes to journal. and to write down as many messages as you can that came through. So when you're starting to finish, and of course take your time, but just writing into the chat when you're done. So I make sure I give enough space.
I don't want you to be a stranger. I just wanna call you my own, my own. I don't want you to be a stranger. I wanna be tied to your soul, your soul. When you call, I come running. I tell you I waste no time. I will meet you in the sacred, beyond the borders of the mind. No more building up these walls now. I will break them down with sound. Oh, I am open, let it be spoken. Big as the ocean. Oh, my love, it knows no bounds. Yeah, I don't want you to be a stranger. I just want to call you my own, my own. I don't want you to be a stranger. I want to be tied to your soul, your soul. Yeah, I confide, wanna be tied to the chords of your love.
So I feel like everybody's starting to finish up, and you can always take some more time later on after our circle tonight to finish writing down any of the visions that have come through. And if anyone is feeling called to share anything in the chat, anything that came through, you're welcome to do that. Or if you're feeling like you want to speak, you're welcome to share. And I was just scrolling back through your comments, which are so beautiful. Clary Sage is so magical. And I know that there was also a comment in here about sharing that poem. And I'm not sure if everybody has access to my Heart Medicine Sanctuary. So if you don't, actually I can put the link in here now, but please feel free to add yourself to that group. It's a space that I've opened up for all of us sisters to gather. Sometimes I'll host card readings in there, and I'm going to often start to do a little kind of once a week talk on different plant botanicals. So you can kind of find that in there as well, and all sorts of other nourishing, high vibe stuff. So I'll drop the link for you, and then Ananda, if you can also share in that group as well your poetry, that would be amazing. So how is everybody feeling right now? Maybe just drop one word into the chat as we arrive back here and start to bring our journey to a close tonight. Relaxed, peaceful. Sun rainbows surrounded us. I loved seeing that light, Kate, in your beautiful sanctuary. I felt like I could feel the energy of that beautiful space. So good. Yeah, I feel even so much better. Yes, I will take it. Thank you for giving it to me. Ananda has the best sanctuary. We just got to give you some of my essence from my beautiful sanctuary before I moved out west, as I was on my journey out west. I arrived here at my new home about a month ago, and I got to spend 2 beautiful weeks with Ananda at her house as her guest, and it was just such a special time. And I'm just so grateful for you and your amazing space there and your sanctuary. So I'm so glad that she's with us tonight in Circle, and I really honor you and thank you so much for sharing all that you did. Thank you to Ella for sharing and for all of this beautiful offering that you wrote in our chat here. Ella is just the most beautiful soul. We met a long time ago, many moons ago. I think we've known each other over 10 years, but we've had the opportunity to attend many retreats together. So it was really special to have Ella here this evening. And it was so nice to connect with all of you and some new faces, some old faces. And thank you for being in the circle and just showing up and holding space in your own way, just being here in your energy and your essence. It really does amplify the intention of all of us together doing this work and supporting each other at this really big time of change and initiation. So thank you deeply for being here and sharing. I'm going to just close with a little reading. So I pulled 3 cards for us while you guys were writing. And it's funny because I pulled 3 cards at the beginning of our session, and I was like, no, that's not the right ones. So I put them back. And then I ended up pulling 2 of the same cards that I pulled before. So universe speaking loudly. So I'll just show you the cards, and then I'll just give you a little reading of them, just so you can see the imagery. And I will post this reading in the Heart Medicine Sanctuary as well, so you can visit it there. I'll actually just send an email with that link, so you don't have to worry about it right now. But the first card is called The Seas of Mintaka. Seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. Mintaka is thought to have been a water-based planet containing the most crystal clear waters you could ever imagine. So clear that you could see for miles and miles underwater. The Seas of Mintaka card represents this crystalline clarity of potential and possibility. It's about the ability and choice to see the potential in all people and situations. This could be one of your natural traits, or it could be a sign that what you're currently doing has great potential. Mintakans are thought to have been a galactic race who saw the light in everything and everyone. You may have received this card as confirmation that a situation or project has extreme potential and will reach fruition. If it appears in a spread, it's a very positive sign that things are working out for the highest potential of all involved. It's a very uplifting, light-filled card that brings great harmony, contentment, and positive outcomes. And the second card was Perspective, which I feel is an important card for tonight and all we've been talking about, especially with just trusting in the divine timing and that, it's already been written in the stars. And Perspective reads, none of this matters. Zoom out, find common ground. Taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. Change your perspective, shift your point of view, and zoom out and out and out. We are but a speck of dust in the universe. yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and setting ourselves up for eventual extinction. We build fences and walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what's being severed. So this card asks us to, one of the inquiries is, how are you being called to change perspective? And as I read this card, I'm feeling called to just share, as we're closing, something from this book, my book. And it's one of the final poems I wrote, or that I put towards the end of this book. And it speaks to, this is the time, like Mother Earth is calling us and asking us to awaken at this time. And as we're shifting into this new age of Aquarius and living from more of the heart space and into this new reality on Earth, it's so important for each of us to do our own individual work. That is like the most important thing that we can be doing. And it's from that space that we're going to bring us into a more harmonized, unified world. And it starts within us. It starts with us connecting to our own peace, alchemizing our own darkness. And I will try to find this poem. So it's just a short little something on page 156. And it reads, Mother Earth is speaking loudly. She asks us now, more than ever, to heal our wise hearts and honor her own in this great awakening. That's so funny. And it's actually right beside Birdsong, which is kind of sweet, which is what I read to you earlier today. So I remember channeling these messages, and I remember just getting these very clear messages of it's Mother Earth. Like, she's asking us at this time to really connect with her and lean into her and use her wisdom so that we can soften and awaken that spark within us that is her, so that we can heal a lot of the wounds that, you know, we've brought about on this earth, because the earth needs healing, and that healing starts within all of us, and that little spark, and how we bring that out into the world is really important at this time. So it's really beautiful that we're all here together and supporting each other on this journey. And as we close officially, I'm going to read the last card I pulled, which I love because I pulled it yesterday as I was preparing for this ceremony, and it's the 7 Star Sisters. And I love that this card has come up because it's so important for us to be in sisterhood right now, like more than ever. And women have gathered for centuries and ages, and it's just so important. And especially right now when we're apart physically, to be able to have the opportunity to come together in this way is really powerful. And it's really important for us to continue to support our sisters in doing their work and letting them support us in doing our work, and coming together and helping each other birth this new beautiful world into being. So I'll read this. Birthing creations, tapestry of life and expression. And we all have that little individual piece of the tapestry to weave in our own lives. There are new creations that want to be born, beauty that's yearning to be woven, new consciousness that's longing to be breathed into life. If you draw this card, you're being called to surrender to these creations, to usher in a new era of consciousness and do your bit in weaving the web of life. This card is the card of the artist and the midwife. You're being called to ponder questions. What wants to be birthed through you? What new creations are whispering in your ear? What beauty are you being called to make? Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life. Earth is renowned as a planet of manifestation and creativity, and yet so many of us have forgotten how to create. Somewhere along the way, we stop seeing ourselves as artists, as creatives, as poets. Yet to be human is to be creative. Creativity is part of your true nature. So surrendering, and this is the final message, is surrendering to the creative projects that both scare and excite you, and to find a way to weave beauty back into everyday life. For where there's creativity, spirit and soul are present. And the world needs those qualities more now than ever before. So let's close with a song. Bring the hands together at the heart. Actually, first, if anybody is called to say anything or share anything before I close circle, you guys good? I just wanted to make sure that I gave some space in case anybody needed to talk or wanted to.
I love that you said that the earth is a representation for creativity and manifesting. Like this earth, this planet that we're on, represents creativity and manifestation. Because we're always talking about other planets and what they represent, and like Venus is love, Saturn, Jupiter is inspiration, So Earth has this, it's the metaphor, right? Which is, we are here to create and manifest, and yet so many of us don't believe in that at all. Like we are still in that masculine energy of the patriarchy of you have to earn it to manifest it, which is actually not true. You have to believe in it and
believe it and feel it.
And act when given permission, right? But this is not, especially the earth is actually not in alignment with earth signs anymore. The earth is in alignment with Aquarius, which is air sign, which is all about creativity and pushing boundaries and thinking outside the box. And it's also about thinking about the community more than about yourself. So that really resonated with me when it said that.
Yeah, totally. I love that. I love that. I won't even say anymore. So good. And being here in community is really, really helpful. I know for myself, like I feel like I couldn't do the work that I do without the community of sisters in my life, and having these circles and being able to come together and have these types of conversations, and allowing this to continue to be woven. So thank you again for being here, and let's close with just singing a little song together. Close with an essence of joy, of sweetness. And this song is called Sacred Woman. So I'll just sing it and continue to sing it a couple of times, and you can kind of tune in, and most of you are muted, so I won't hear you anyways. Sing as you will. So let's just take the hands to the heart and reach them all the way up and just take a nice big stretch. And grab a hold of one wrist with one arm and reach up and over to the side. And up and over to the other side. Opening up our chests and stretching out, opening up even more our heart space, even though it's late at night and I don't always like to be doing heart opening at night because it can be stimulating. It's really nice. I find that right now I'm being called to it. So sitting up tall and either bringing your hands onto your heart or the hands in prayer or lotus or any other hand mudra or gesture that feels helpful for you right now, as I offer this medicine poem or medicine song rather to close our time together and to close this sacred circle and this portal that we have opened together energetically tonight. And also the portal that we've tapped into under this dark Aries moon. And so as we close sacred space, thanking Mother Earth, Father Sky, our ancestors, and our own wise heart for helping to hold us and encourage us and helping to let us be here in this safe space. And I invite in this song to honor us as a collective, both the collective here in this community tonight that we've created, and to the larger community, and to all of those who need these prayers tonight and this blessing and honoring. Sacred woman I am, with bare feet I walk across the river stones. There's water in my blood and the earth in my bones. I tend the fire in my heart so I am never alone. Sacred woman I am. Sacred woman I am. With bare feet I walk across the river stones. There's water in my blood and the earth in my bones. I tend the fire in my heart so I am never alone. Sacred woman I am. Sacred woman I am. With bare feet I walk across the river stones. There's water in my blood and the earth in my bones. I tend the fire in my heart so I am never alone. Sacred woman I am. Sacred woman I am. Sacred woman I am. Let's all take a deep breath in and let it go. And do that a couple more times. And sealing this practice and closing our circle with the sound of one Om. Deep breath in. Om. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Namaste. Thank you so much, ladies. So beautiful to be here with you tonight. I'm going to send you guys an email. Bye, Dana. I'm going to send you guys an email with the Heart Medicine Sanctuary, and you're welcome to dive into that space and enjoy it. Some of you I know are already in it. And yeah, thanks you too, Isabel and Cheryl. I was thinking about you all tucked into your home, all cozy. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. Do something, maybe have a bath. Try not to check your phone. Sometimes it can be nice to be off of technology, I find, after Circle, and especially opening up energetic space like that. Yeah, just continue to be open and listen. Sometimes when we plant seeds in Circle, we don't always get our messages and our answers right away. So as we were talking about tonight, just trusting with the divine unfolding of it all. So spend lots of time in nature and go slowly and allow yourself to be held at this time and trust that it's all unfolding perfectly for you. Keep listening to the whispers of your heart. And I love you. And I'll see you again really soon. Thanks for being here. Bye, guys.